game just to get my fatty. And these lazy ain't got competition. It's me versus me, love Key Talk game.
Key Talk Society, check it out. Before the video gets started, I need y'all to like the video. You know what I'm talking about? You know I'm gonna come with the content every day, all day. You know what I'm talking about? They like the video for me. Take 2 seconds. Anyway, so Kanye West, he's done something that not a lot of major artists, big artists that's of his stature will ever be able to do. And I think this is something that we won't ever see again. And I'm gonna kind of break it down for y'all, right? So of course, everybody knows that Kanye West is one of those artists that been inside of the media for what a lot of people deem as anti-Semitic comments that he's actually made. Now, we'll break that down. And here's the thing, right? Yes, some of the comments that Kanye West, a lot of the comments that Kanye West has said has been anti-Semitic, anti-against a particular group. However, Kanye's defense to that is that, hey, black people really can't be anti-Semitic because black people themselves are actually Semitic. So they can't be something that's against themselves. It's just that that knowledge has been withheld from black people to the point to where they don't know that they're actually a Semitic group of people. And then also, you got to think about this, right? Kanye West has done something and been able to achieve something that no other artist has. Not any Jay-Z's, not any Drake's, not any Michael Jackson's, not even Prince's. Now, the reason I brought up Michael Jackson's name and Prince's name is because those are two artists that really wanted to be off their record label contracts. They didn't want to be on the contracts anymore. Prince actually did interviews pretty much saying, hey, man, I talked to my label and asked them, hey, can we adjust the contract somehow, some way? But he said that they wouldn't do it because if they did do it, then it will potentially destroy them because that's how they survive and eat and make their money.
I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the albums myself in my own studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it. And I did all the work. I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. That said, the companies felt otherwise, and they would always hold this contract up and say, well, you signed it. And I say, well, I understand that. It's not like I want to leave. I just want to, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair. Of course, they wouldn't change, because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist. It shouldn't be a situation where they own the album or the work. We're talking about intellectual copyright. If they're going to be indeed a delivery service, then that's fine. But even FedEx doesn't say that they own the thing that they ship.
However, Kanye West, whether y'all know it or not, he's actually considered a completely independent artist. And I believe it started like as of last year sometime, maybe earlier on in the year, or maybe even a little before that. But Kanye West is actually an independent artist. He doesn't have a label or publisher company that's actually doing his publishing, or any label that's actually doing the extra behind the scenes stuff that he does. So just like an independent artist that you may know that may go to like a DistroKid or a CD Baby and like distribute their own music, will distribute their music through those companies because they don't have a label. That's the position that Kanye West is in. However, the timing of his comments that some people deem as anti-Semitic, which some of the comments, a lot of the comments were anti-Semitic. Let's just forget about that, right? Well, not forget about it, but I'm going to break it more down, right, on how I'm saying it and why I'm saying it like that. But the timing of his comments has been very strategically planned. This is why I say no other artists have actually done it. Kanye West waited till his deal with his label was about to end, and he knew that he didn't want to go re-sign back to that label or do any more business with that label or the people that's involved with helping push, distribute, any of that, publishing, any of that, right? And then he made those comments just as he was becoming a free agent that anybody could pick up. Most of the time, the majority of the time, 99.9% of the time, whenever it's an artist at the level and as big as a Kanye West, I mean, yes, he's made all these comments, but you got to think how big Kanye West actually is, right? Most of the time when it's an artist that big, they're immediately getting out of free agency. Right when their deal's about to end, they probably have already been in talks with other companies to go ahead and hurry up and re-sign. It's kind of like if Kobe Bryant was to ever go into a free agency, obviously a team would pick him up automatically, right? But this is different than a Kobe Bryant, because it's like, for Kobe Bryant to do what Kanye West has done, Kobe Bryant would have to go create his own league and start playing in his own league and still dominating. Because Kanye West, he's still dropping projects. Like, he just dropped The Vultures, right? But he dropped that as an independent artist. So, which means he's going to be able to collect more money than from his streams and everything like that than an artist that's signed to a label may, right? Because we understand that most artists that sign to labels, major labels, make a majority of their money by touring, by doing shows. They rarely ever see a streaming check at all, right? So yes, it's going to be harder for Kanye West to potentially book shows because of his comments and who may own the venues. However, there's groups and teams and companies that assist independent artists, which he's independent now, with actually doing shows and stuff like that. So he actually has the potential to make a lot more money than he made in his career being signed to a label. However, it's going to take a longer time for him to get it. See, instead of getting a lot of the upfront money and stuff like that, and guaranteed, he's going to have to put more work in order to achieve a lot of that stuff, right? But someone actually sent Kanye West, and he posted it. Someone actually sent him a message I'm going to read to y'all. But before I read that to y'all, I want to read y'all an article that was pretty much written about Kanye West. Well, I'm a brief, like that big of an article that I'm going to take out of the complete article, right? Because it just shows that how he's actually an independent artist, which I think this is wild. Like, it's extremely wild to me to see that Kanye West is actually an independent artist, and the amount of influence that he actually has while being an independent artist, right? So this will scroll up here. It says, Def Jam, which owns the copyright to his recordings up to sometime in the mid-2010s, which means they no longer own it anymore, and distributed subsequent releases up to last year, Donda, of course, and it says has confirmed that his deal with the company has ended last year. The copyrights credits on some albums have changed in recent weeks. It now appears that West owns the masters from his 2013 Yeezy album Onward. As the RCA Records and R. Kelly, it's wild that R. Kelly actually owns some of the stuff with Kanye West, right? So R. Kelly, the company, will continue to own and or distribute his catalog and profit from it, per the terms of their contract. Def Jam presumably owns the recorded music rights to his earlier recordings for decades to come, although it is unclear when the post-2013 releases will be up for new redistribution deal. Sony Publishing confirmed that its administration deal with the company ended earlier this year, although it will continue to administer his works per the terms of the deal for an unspecified amount of time. And this is an article from like last year, right? So with Kanye West being a independent artist, he's one of the first artists that have actually used anti-Semitism as a marketing tool. Those comments have he gets more attention of people saying, oh, he's saying anti-Semitic stuff. Oh, he's saying this, he's saying that. But what that's actually doing is giving him a whole lot of publicity on literally everything that he does. So whether Kanye West comes out and say, hey, man, like he just did, hey, man, I can't do a show because, they've been blocking me from doing shows for like a whole year. Automatically, people are going to go think that a particular group of people is stopping Kanye West from being able to do any sort of shows. And not only is that going to make other people reach out to him to help him, which it actually has, and he's got shows booked based off coming down and saying that he's being stopped from doing shows, but just based off the fact still that he's such a humongous artist that will literally draw a whole lot of people. So it's super wild to think that he's actually an independent artist. A lot of artists that wanted to get off their contract, they end up dead. They end up unalived. And people know this, right? Prince, unalived. Michael Jackson, unalived. a whole lot of people. You can even throw DMX in there if you want to, but most of the artists that get such a big stature, that becomes an issue or a problem, which none of them said the stuff that Kanye West has actually said, and they all ended up dead and didn't even get to, a lot of those artists would have loved to have been able to start as an independent artist, to have gained so much fame and then turned into an independent artist somehow by getting off their contracts. Whether people know it or not, a lot of the goal and the dream of a lot of these artists that sign to labels is to one day be independent again. You can listen to them say it in the interviews and the songs and everything. They always be like, man, I wish I can go back and be independent again, because they get shelved. They get all type of stuff that actually happens to them where they don't have any type of control over their destiny, at least they believe, because of the stuff that they've actually signed contractually, right? So Kanye West strategically did everything that's happening right now. And whenever he said, have you ever seen somebody lose $1 billion over a tweet? I gotcha. He wasn't lying. He wasn't playing. All this stuff, he knew what he was going to be facing when he was no longer signing to these people, right? He knew that, while you're signed to them, you can't say particular stuff, even though he did say a lot of stuff still, but he didn't say as much stuff whenever he was signed to them, and he was willing to lose billions of dollars in order to voice his opinion and speak his mind. So just, I do believe that a lot of artists, of course, they're not coming out saying anything to Kanye West, but I 100% believe that a lot of artists felt the same way and feel the same way about the contracts that Kanye West said, but they'll never have the heart to do it. And they don't want to destroy the relationships that they will have. And they don't want to come out and say anything that could be deemed as anti-Semitic, and pretty much destroy bridges and a whole lot of other stuff like what happened to Kanye West. Luckily, he has enough money to the fact to where, and not even just enough money, because he was running low on money, it said, but he had the genius to be able to, he's a creative genius. He's got shoes, socks, whatever else is on his Yeezy.com website, where he was able to keep some money coming in, drop some merchandise, create some products that he actually owns, like his own products, not a product that he's just endorsing like the artists do with the alcohols and stuff like that, but like an actual product that he endorses, that he gets the money from, that I'm not endorsed, that he owns, he gets the money from, right? So someone sent Kanye West a message of him being an independent artist, and Kanye West actually, he posted it. So it looks like it came from somebody named Trackster, which y'all may know who that is. It says, the full value of being an independent artist and owning your work is not entirely realized in one release. It's mostly realized in the building of a catalog that creates a flow of perpetual passive income. And that's important because whenever these artists sign these contracts and they pretty much give away their rights of their music and stuff, the labels don't play a short-term game. The labels play a long-term game. So even when you long dead and gone 30, 40 years after you done pretty much died, they're still going to be collecting that money from your music, right? But now with Kanye West being an independent artist, and no label's going to ever sign Kanye West. For what he's done and said, they'll never sign it. So he has no option but to be independent and to go the long route of collecting the most money, like over time, right? And and a lot of artists don't think about it like this. A lot of artists want the upfront money right now, the loan money right now, in which the loans, the money up front that the labels give the artists, they have to pay that back with interest. And the interest rates that the artists pay back at is way higher than if they were to go to a bank and time I get the money. So I'm going to continue reading what Kanye West reposted. It says, every song created now becomes part of a catalog that you own, right? So he's talking ownership now. He's in ownership phase. The initial cost of creating and marketing new projects will be recouped in the coming years, but the catalog will continue to generate income in perpetuity. So like I told y'all, Kanye West has used the fact of his anti-Semiticness as a marketing tool, which is extremely wild. But it's playing, yes, it's some negative stuff that's happening to him, but also it's getting people to view him, right? labels do all type of stuff in order to get people to view their artists, and now Kanye West is independent and he's such a big figure that marketing is going to come easy to him from pretty much all the blogs and stuff because he is Kanye West. Yeah, right. So I mean, I don't. This is wild what's actually happening. If y'all can actually see what's going on, it says the passive income requiring minimum effort will go directly into your pocket. Build your independent catalog with hit records and incredible moments in the music history, and it will pay you a premium forever. Most superstars never get this opportunity while still in their creative prime. That's true. That's what I try to tell y'all. Most of them, forget about in their creative prime, a lot of them end up dead. That's the thing. Kanye West is one of the rare artists that hasn't been unalive, even though he said all this wild and crazy stuff and been through all this wild and crazy stuff, but he's still alive. That's the whole thing about this. These artists don't get to stay alive this long, especially if they figure out that they're going to be a problem ahead of time. They end up getting them out the way. Or, something happens to them, maybe a car crash, something like that. I winked if y'all didn't see that wink. But anyways, it says, that being said, Vultures is #1 both on the charts and as your first step. This is his story, G. So obviously Vultures would technically be his first project that he actually released as an independent artist. So personally, here's what I believe. I believe Kanye West is most definitely playing a dangerous game, or he played a dangerous game. Somehow he survived the one dangerous game that he played. Now he's playing an independent dangerous game because for sure Kanye West has a target on his back. Now, whether the target is being a target from someone that wants to get him gone or someone who wants to just destroy his name, period, even though I don't think you can destroy. I honestly don't believe that you can just completely destroy Kanye West's name because everybody knows that Kanye West is going to say whatever Kanye West wants to say. And he's already said everything. Like, what else could you potentially say? I mean, he's been called crazy a lot, in which he even came out and was like, yeah, y'all been calling me crazy for so long and so much. They're like, okay, I'm going to do exactly what I want to do. There's only so many times you can call a person crazy. And what's wild is the fact I read the comments and stuff like that. A lot of people is now saying, like, okay, so Kanye West is called anti-Semitic a lot, right? A lot of the conversation is kind of like switching now, and people is now saying, why in the blue hell do y'all keep calling every single thing that he does anti-Semitic? Like, now they're starting to question the people that's actually continuously putting that label and stuff like that. And the comment section is actually going at the people who may do like a blog or something like that and put that he's been this, he's been that, he's been anti-Semitic here. And they're like, bro, I don't know. It's kind of like, people feel like that's being overused, and whenever something gets overused, it kind of wears out, and then it's not as effective. It's like if you love nachos, right, and you eat nachos every day for the whole year, for 365 days you eat nachos, that next year, bro, like, nachos just may not sound as delicious to you. It may not. There's a word for it that I actually learned a word in macroeconomics whenever I took that course, but I forgot the name of it, right? But it wears out over time because you do it so much. And that's actually what's happening with the word anti-Semitic and Kanye West. So we just gonna have to see how the story of Kanye West ends, because it's going right now, and he's considered an independent artist. Not a lot of people of his status will ever be able to reach to the point where they become an independent artist. For one, they have no clue what to do. Kanye West, he didn't know a lot of stuff on what to do, actually. That's why he reached out for help on his Instagram. A lot of signed artists, they used to the labels babying them and doing everything for them. They have absolutely no clue if they were to ever do. They have absolutely no clue what to do if they were to ever become independent. So I'm here just watching how the story goes, sitting back and just watching it all. But as far as Kanye West goes, you got a whole lot of people against you. And I'm not going to lie to you. You definitely got to be careful out here in these streets, Mr. West. Anyways, let me know something. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this entire ordeal. I'm out.